we've got head coach Buzz Williams with us. And, Coach, we've talked before, and obviously congratulations. What a persistent and thrilling victory for your team tonight. But we've talked before about how sometimes the games and everything is beyond yours and the guys' wildest dreams. Tonight was kind of the epitome of that dream, was it not? A resilient effort against your arch rival, double overtime, sold-out crowd, and it all came together. Your team just refused, it seemed like, to lose tonight.
I think that's the only reason why we won, is because of their resilience, their toughness, their character. If you're down 14 at half against the second slowest team in the country, it's going to be incredibly hard to even make it a game. Not to win, to make it a game. And because of the character and the grit, whatever word you want to use, of our guys, we made it a game. And they're a top 6-8 team in the country. They're never going to beat themselves. You're going to have to beat them. Incredible, almost pristine discipline in everything they do on both ends. And, rightfully so much of the acclaim and talk of UVA is their defense. And I understand and agree, and I say those same things, but not enough is talked about of how efficient they are offensively. They were number one in our league in field goal percentage offense going into today. So it's not just their defense. And I think you have to be careful, even within the 2 days that we've prepared for them. Hey, guys, this is what we want to do offensively against their defense. That you don't make it all about their defense, because then they beat you offensively. Have a very low turnover rate, and they were shooting 49% from the field through 11 ACC games. We are second in field goal percentage offense, but our offense, typically speaking, hasn't been our issue. It was partly our issue 11 days ago at their place, but you have to beat them, and it's on both ends of the floor because they're not going to beat themselves. And so the only chance we had was to be incredibly tough and play with near perfect energy.
Do you remember about a week or so ago you handed out that sheet of paper from Matt Ryan and said every play of every game is important. You never know which one is going to determine the outcome. And then you think about all those little plays tonight that made a difference. And you think about Ty Outlaw getting that tip in, the ball laying on the rim. I mean, they were just, you go through that whole thing, play after play after play.
Well, I think that's, I agree. I give our guys a lot of different things along those lines. And one of the things that I just talked to them about in there, and they know it because we talk about it a lot. I just presented it in a different way. They'll have better things happen to them in their lives than this win. And that's not to take the emotion from this win. But what I wanted to make sure that they learned, you can learn whether you win or lose. And too oftentimes as coaches, I think we get emotional because of the losing. And it becomes you're trying to teach them about ball. And I want to make sure that regardless of the score, that we're teaching them lessons about life. And the thing that I talked to them about Burnop was, as you grow up, do you want to be known by your values or do you want to be known by your title? And your ego gets in the way. It's human nature. But bad emotion is bad. And as you grow up, you want to be known by your values. Our values were evident. All the things that Lay said, those are our values. That's what we want to be about. Those are the things that translate to their life. And I'm not trying to be a life coach. I want to be a basketball coach. But in basketball, I want to teach them about life. And I mentioned to them 1,017 days after we got here, we were ranked 21st in the country. And in the wrong way, but because it had never happened. We wanted to be about our title. Hey, we're 21st in the country. And I was explaining to them, how going forward are we going to handle this? Because there's still an eternity to play. Do we want to be known by our values, or do we want to be known by our title that we beat a top 10 team at home? And they're going to have multiple titles in their life. You're a business owner, you're a Hall of Famer, you're a great human being, but you've had multiple titles. You're a dad. But what are your values? And I think that I wanted to make sure that they understood we won the game not because all of a sudden we ran different plays, not because all of a sudden we were playing a different team, not because all of a sudden the crowd changed. All of the adjectives were the exact same. What changed? Well, our values became more evident. And there were multiple plays, multiple possessions where you go, can you believe that? I'm telling our guys in overtime number 2 to flatten out. They're worn out. They're tired. And I'm telling them to flatten out on the ball screen. Seth had the ball in the middle of the floor. It's a ball screen. And our guard on the weak side is standing free throw line extended. Our guard on the ball side is standing free throw line extended. And I'm saying flatten it out so that when he used the ball screen, there was somewhere for him to go. And Bibbs thought I said timeout.
I was wondering why you took that timeout.
And I didn't address it because he was trying to do right. But I'm saying there's multiple things that transpired. Some of them really good and some of them really bad. But who we are, I think, came to life.
Did Hadim Seeg grow up quite a bit more again tonight? Second half of the overtime?
I think Dream's a good player. I think the game is really fast for him. He's as pure a human being as I've coached. He wants to do right, but it just gets revved up so much, and he's like, whoa, this is like more than I thought. But he's getting better at it, and I thought he played really good minutes. Really, really good minutes. And I thought Ty was incredibly helpful. It was just I got to figure it out. We're playing 5 guards, and we're trying to figure out what we can run that Bibbs knows from the, quote, 4 or Ty knows from the 5, and it was just scrambled eggs. And some of it worked out okay, but it took everybody.
How did Bibbs, who had 2 points and no rebounds in the first half, come along and play so well? You said before, when he gets aggressive and gets the rebound and goes, he's a different player. He ends up with 16 and 6.
I think that if you look at, and I mean this in the right way because I love Bibbs, in our losses, Bibbs' production. In comparison to our wins, Bibbs' production. And I'm not putting it on Bibbs, but there is a correlation. And when we're playing small like we were so much of tonight, Bibbs and Med, Seth got 4 rebounds. Seth was averaging 1.8 rebounds going into tonight's game. We need that. You know, like they had 11 offensive rebounds at their place in 40 minutes, and tonight we played 50 minutes and they had 9. That's a game changer. We had 3 at their place, and tonight we had 7. That's a game changer because the value of a possession when you're playing as slow as we are, it's monumental.
I said this with 54.6 seconds to go in the second overtime. I think trailing by 1 at the moment. I said, regardless of the outcome, and it would sting if you didn't win the game, but this was going to be a good night for this program regardless because of the national exposure, because of the environment, because of the fun that everybody in the stands had. Tonight, I stand by that. It obviously feels a lot better to win.
The tone of the post game is a lot different.
It is. We're nervous over here.
You're right.
It's a lot easier over here. But go back to that. This was a big night for this program because of the environment and what it could be.
I mean this with all sincerity, and I don't mean any of it arrogantly. I think because of what happened in year number 2, in some ways, the expectations got completely out of whack. And what happened in non-conference in year number 3 only accentuated those expectations. I think we're going in the right direction. I don't say that because of me. But we are playing with an incredibly thin margin and suiting up 8 guys all year long. Didn't think it was right to play KJ. Didn't know that Pig was going to go through what Pig is going through. Seth Leday, we signed him planning to redshirt him. But you guys know this because you come to practice. We got a D, we call them the D League.
They're good.
Devin will be a redshirt senior next year. KJ will be a redshirt sophomore next year. If it all goes straight, Pig will be a redshirt freshman next year. Seth Leday will be a redshirt junior next year. That's 4 of the 5 guys on the D League, and Matt Galloway is the 5th guy. We have an incredibly thin group. 8 guys, 2 of them are seniors. That's a lot. So I'm not making excuses, but I think it's all gotten out of whack, and I'm okay with that because that means we're doing good, right? But you have to be careful when you're growing something that you're not over-fertilizing it, that you're not over-watering it, and you stunt its true sustainable growth. And I don't know what's going to play out, Lays, over the next 30 days. But for us to be in the position that we're in today, in my opinion, speaks incredibly to the job our staff has done, and not just the coaches, all of them. It speaks to the parents of the children on our team, all of them. Because there's no way, I was telling them yesterday when I got mad in practice, I was telling Dream this. Dream, do you understand that the next layer, the next level of basketball is pro? This is the highest level you can play in college basketball. There's nowhere else to go other than pro. And for what we're trying to do in this league, this specific year in this league, in year number 3 when we've only had 2 recruiting classes, that we've been able to do what we've done, in many respects, that's manna from heaven.
Well, you didn't hear this at the half, and we'll leave you on this one, but Coach Beamer actually addressed the crowd at the half.
He did.
Told the crowd that you were going to win, and it's going to be because of them.
I love Coach now. I love old people. I love young people. And I love retired coaches. And
you didn't fire him after the game in Charlottesville.
I didn't say a word to him. He's the only guy at practice/shoot-around that has his phone on the loudest ring possible, and it's not the ringtone, factory ringtone. It's like Bruce had to put a fancy ringtone on it.
Yeah,
and he answered it. I don't think Miss Beamer would know how to do it. And he answered it on speakerphone. That's how much I respect Coach.
Classic.
And Buzz didn't say a thing. Yeah. Coach, a lot of fun.
Go get your root canal in there.
Thanks. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have some really great questions to ask.
Wins.